Good evening, I'm Jeff Ree, and we interrupt your regularly scheduled episode of MSU Tonight to bring you a special report from Murray State's own Cade Utterback. We understand that he is live at the scene. And Cade, what exactly is going on down there?
Are we live? All right, thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, the scene here is pretty interesting. About 5 minutes ago, the Murray State Police received a call about someone attempting to rob the Tres Habaneros in the tea room on the second floor. And we believe we have tracked the culprit to the third floor of the Curris Center, which is kind of funny. You'd think they'd want to escape through the first or second floor doors. Honestly, I think that if you ask me, they must be pretty stupid to think they're going to get away with this one.
I'm sorry, Cade. Am I hearing right? You're saying someone has robbed the Tres Habaneros and has fled to the top floor?
That would be my understanding, yes.
And have the MSU police arrived on the scene?
No, we don't believe so, but we do have confirmation that they are on the way.
Hey, the guy's behind you.
Well, I don't think we're going to be hearing from Cade anytime soon. So, we might as well continue with the show. With 39 seasons and no end in sight, welcome one and all to MSU Tonight!
Welcome to the 39th season premiere of MSU Tonight.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you might even get pregnant.
Coming up on the show,
Maytag refrigerators, friend or foe?
a grizzly bear attack you won't want to miss, and
What exactly is in the mystery meat? The answer may shock you, or not. We don't really care.
hey, be careful now, Dustin. The last person who criticized the food around here went missing. Legend says they are the mystery meat, but more on that later.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Nick.
Say, Dustin, what do you call one of those two-wheeled scooters that people ride around on?
A Segway?
That's it. It's time for Hot Topics.
The highly anticipated 39th season of MSU Tonight premiered today at 5 p.m. MSU Tonight is believed to be in its 39th season, but to be honest, we've kind of lost count. When asked if this episode is any good, critics reportedly said, "How should I know? It's only been 3 minutes."
The Murray State Rifle team won its 15th OVC championship at Moorhead earlier this week. The team attributes this victory to meticulous planning and accurate team gun work. Or in other words, another organized group of white people succeed at shooting down innocent black targets.
Terraria developer Relogic has canceled the title's Google Stadia port after losing access to its Google account. The loss of access reportedly was the result of service violation on the company's YouTube channel, which hadn't been utilized in months. Relogic co-founder Andrew Spinks described doing business with Google as a liability. Spinks went so far as to say that the company will no longer support any of Google's platforms moving forward. I guess I can't really blame him. I don't like throwing my money down the garbage disposal either.
In honor of Black History Month, we bring you a new segment that highlights important figures throughout the civil rights movement and all of American history. This is the Civil Rights Spotlight. With back to school still somewhat in the minds of us students here at Murray State, who better to start off the series other than civil rights activist Ruby Bridges, the first African American to integrate a public school in the South. Bridges was born 3 months after the Brown v. Board of Education decision on September 8, 1954. She started kindergarten in 1959 at a segregated school in New Orleans, Louisiana, until she became one of 6 black children to pass a test that determined whether or not they got to attend William Frantz Elementary, an all-white school at the time. Bridges' father was hesitant in the beginning, but after some convincing from her mom, they both decided this was a necessary step, not only for their daughter's education, but for black people all around the nation. Monday, November 14, 1960, Ruby, along with her mother and 4 U.S. federal marshals, entered William Frantz Elementary School. Due to the protests and threats made by segregationists, Ruby spent her entire first day in the principal's office, and later on, only one teacher agreed to teach her anything, and that teacher was Barbara Henry. Henry was Ruby's sole teacher throughout throughout that entire first year. Even with all the chaos around Ruby integrating the school, she never showed any signs of fear, as former Deputy Marshal Charles Burks was once quoted saying she never cried. She didn't whimper, she just marched along like a little soldier, and we're all very proud of her. But beyond the hatred, there were many people willing to help out Bridges and her family. After Ruby's father lost his original job by deciding to let her integrate, a neighbor offered him a new one. Other locals volunteered to babysit for Ruby's mom and act as protectors of her family. Ruby is remembered mainly for her and her family's contributions to the advancement of black people in the United States by integrating an all-white school, but her story was also represented in Norman Rockwell's 1964 painting, The Problem We All Live With. Throughout the rest of Ruby's education, more African American kids were enrolled, and by the time she graduated high school, all classes were fully integrated. Ruby Bridges is a perfect example of how that problem we all live with is still alive and well, as she is currently 66 years old, going on 67. Ruby is still very much involved with racial equality as the chair of the Ruby Bridges Foundation, which she founded in 1999 to promote the values of tolerance, respect, and appreciation of all differences. This has been a Civil Rights Spotlight. Stay tuned for more MSU Tonight after the break.
Closed captioning and other consideration for MSU Tonight provided by GameFlop. Say goodbye to your retirement fund.
Tonight, we're talking to Hudson Taylor, a representative of the Sigma Chi fraternity, the VET program, and sweaty men everywhere. Camera 3, can we get a shot of his forehead? No, actually, don't do that. So, Hudson, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me here, Dustin.
Absolutely. Could you tell us a little bit about frat life?
So yeah, frat life. As Dustin said, I'm a brother at the Sigma Chi fraternity here in Murray State. And well, I believe it's a whole lot of fun, but really, I have a really strong brotherhood there with the brothers at Sigma Chi. And I know that it has been some of the highlights of my college career so far. And I'm just glad that I'm getting involved.
Stop, I'm sorry. The grown-ups are talking here, kiddo. Okay, let me ask you something real quick. So you're a vet major, okay? Does that mean you got a lot of homework, right?
Yes, plenty.
Okay. So how about that homework? What do you got going on?
Well, I mean, I have chemistry, physics right now. I have veterinary nursing, radiology. I got all sorts of labs and homework, and I got to spend time with all the dogs and cats and horses and cows.
I'm sorry, folks. Our guest needs to be educated on proper interview etiquette. You will speak only when spoken to. Got me?
Yes, sir.
Read my lips, okay? So, how did you know you wanted to be a veterinarian?
Ever since I've been a little boy, I just liked dogs so much, and even cats sometimes, but I thought they were a little hard to work with, but I've just grown up loving dogs. I've had so many dogs in my life, and I just thought that I was called to help those dogs and cats in aid.
Wow, that was such a thoughtful and eloquent response. Now, what in the depths of your ignorance makes you think I care? Listen, I got another question for you, big shot, okay? You know what? I think we got off on the wrong foot. I guess I just despised you from the very second you walked into the studio, okay? Let's ease the tension.
Okay.
Why don't you ask me a question?
What's going on in your life right now, Dustin?
I think we can see why I'm the interviewer. So, you got any girlfriends? Or boyfriends? Hey, we don't discriminate.
Yes.
We're an equal opportunity employer.
Yes, I have a lovely, beautiful girlfriend. Her name is Allie.
All right. Time for the real interview. How do you perform under pressure?
Not well, apparently.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully at a vet clinic, working my own practice.
And what are your biggest weaknesses?
Well, definitely, I'm always anxious. I worry about a lot of things, and I guess I just really worry about failure.
Get a load of this guy. So, out of all the candidates applying for this job, why should we choose you?
Because I am a high quality guy. I work well with others, and yeah, I just have a good, positive attitude at the end of the day.
Well, thanks for coming in. We'll be in touch. And Everybody give Hudson a round of applause for being such a good sport tonight. Make sure to buy his new CD titled No Sweat, February 15th. We'll be right back with more MSU Tonight after the break.
Hello everybody, I'm Caden. I'm one of the cast members, production crew, whatever the heck you want to call me here at MSU Tonight. You know, I haven't had anyone special in my life in a long time, aside from family and friends and all that, but I know that Valentine's Day can be tough for some of us without a significant other to call our own. So with that in mind, I'd like to take a moment to salute all of you lonely people out there. It's tough sometimes, trust me, I know, but we'll all get through this one day. I mean, it sure as hell won't be today, but hey, a man could dream, right? You gotta try and stay positive and find happiness in your own way. I believe in every single one of you single Pringles out there. Anyway, let's all raise a glass for the people that have to put up with all this lovey-dovey crap each year. This one's for you, single folk. Whoop! Got a little on me. Goodness. Oh, and by the way, if there are any lonely females out there that are looking for a nice guy, my phone number is 270.
Wow, Nick, that was some show we just put on.
It definitely was interesting.
You said it, buddy.
Hey, you know, there's always next week. Speaking of which, we hope you at home tune into the next episode of MSU Tonight, Tuesday at 5 p.m. on MSU TV 11.
That's channel 26-3 for those of you watching on campus or on Spectrum.
And if you miss it live, check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MSU Tonight for the latest episodes and some of our best segments.
We know most of you are watching on YouTube anyway. And lastly, be sure to follow us on Twitter at MSU Tonight for regular updates and behind-the-scenes content each week.
Well, that's all for this episode of MSU Tonight. See you next week when we'll have Bob Jackson in a bikini, a baby shaking contest, and a football team with a winning record.
2 truths and a lie, anyone?
Remember, your chances of getting mugged on campus are very slim, but never zero. See you next week.